Welcome back to the Last Week This Week podcast, episode 41. I'm Ian Scott.
And I'm Zack Huber.
And this is the podcast where we discuss nerd topics from the last week and this week. And this week we got a bunch of stuff to go over with you guys.
Yeah. We're going to talk about some DCU news with James Gunn and what's going on with the Arkham series over there. Some new news that we got coming out of there.
Yeah, and another Arkhamverse kind of series that's he's also, talking about as well.
We're also going to talk about Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon reviews that have been coming out. That's going to be coming. The movie will be in Netflix next week.
And we got a couple of trailers.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 4 and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep. We're also going to do our favorite Christmas movies, short little reviews of that, because this will be our inadvertent Christmas episode before the holidays.
Yeah, we had promised last time, if you're a listener, we had promised a best of a worst of, but we felt that we wanted to include all the movies of this year.
Yeah.
And so we're going to put it off until the end of the year. And so we're just doing a normal episode 41.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the most pressing news, the most current news is...
I almost forgot.
Is what we're going to start with, which is kind of a two-parter, I guess we'll say. Starting off with, so Jonathan Majors is now fired from Disney / Marvel. And for those who don't know, I mean, you probably should know if you listen to the podcast, but if you don't know, Jonathan Majors plays Kang the Conqueror in the MCU. And the jury just reached a verdict yesterday on Monday that he is guilty of 2 counts. One of a misdemeanor assault charge, and the other is of harassment. There was also 2 other charges that he was not indicted or found guilty for, which I think were the more serious charges. Not that these are not necessarily serious, but
harassment's pretty serious.
But they were, and we can
they were more serious.
We can talk like a little bit more about what these charges necessarily were. But for the most part, regarding our podcast, we're just gonna mainly talk about what this means for the MCU, and also the fact that Disney was, I think. Same day.
They were very reactive. I mean, it was within like an hour or two. The news came out that Marvel was like, "Yep, he's done."
Which tells me they had pretty much we're like, if this happens, this is what we do. If this happens, I don't know. Maybe they could have, if he was not found guilty, I still could have easily, been like, well, we still don't want to move forward with him. But I think, from what I'm assuming, they found him guilty. They were like, we already know if they find him guilty, we're not moving forward. If they don't find him guilty, we'll move forward with him. Because it just happened so quickly, It
was so fast. Yeah. I really thought they would wait at least a day, but
I mean, I kind of appreciate it, to be honest. So we don't have to,
sure
speculate.
Yeah. It really does make me think now, because they clearly had this plan where okay, so if this happens, then we're moving on from Jonathan Majors. And I do think that plan also involves the second part of this news, which is that Kang Dynasty is now being referred to as Avengers 5.
Right.
I think that really shows that they're moving on from Kang himself, I think, and they might not even recast. Which is kind of scary. I would much prefer a recast, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think that's what we'll kind of get into, and I kind of want to get your opinion on what you think is going to happen moving forward. Because a few things, I guess, for context regarding the changing of Avengers 5, Avengers Kang Dynasty to what sources are saying is they're just referring to it as Avengers 5. We know that they had Destin, who is the director of Shang-Chi. He was going to direct Avengers 5. We know a while ago that he had left the project and he was going to focus on Wonder Man and Shang-Chi 2. We also know that they hired Michael Waldron to kind of start a new script. So we're director leave. We're having a new writer come on. And if we're going to say it's Avengers 5, it does feel like they are potentially moving away from Kang.
For sure.
If you look at Loki season 2, like I've mentioned before, you could view it as the end of Kang's story in a way, because
I don't know how you
just
could.
Because you have the TVA. Pretty much their sole purpose is to just like hunt down Kang variants, because they're no longer pruning timelines. They're kind of just keeping their eye on what's going on with Kang.
But we're just going to say like the TVA themselves can handle Kang. I don't know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Kang, and I understand from the comics perspective, very powerful villain in the MCU, has not been shown to be a very powerful, dangerous villain up until this point. And I would say that for the most part, nobody has been particularly excited about Kang, and he's nowhere near the level of villain that he should be. So I'm not saying that I would necessarily want to move away from the story, but it does seem like they may be moving in that direction, because it just feels like a failed storyline that hasn't been connecting with audiences. Add on top of Jonathan Majors with these legal issues. Now, that's not to say that they couldn't recast, because this is, I know people were wanting a recast of T'Challa back when Chadwick Boseman passed away, which I also would have liked it recast, to be honest. But
it would have been better for their universe, for sure.
I understand why they did it, but if there was ever a recast that would make the most sense in a story ever, it's this one, because we've seen that variants can look different. And I know that we've had saw a million different Kangs at the end of Quantumania.
Right.
I understand.
Who's to say one of them couldn't look different?
Right. Like this one, let's say a new Kang, he's the main one that we are going to follow. He looks different. I don't know. But like, we could make it happen. It's fine with me. Like, I'll just be like, yeah, whatever. This is the new Kang now. Like, it really wouldn't bother me that much.
At all. Yeah.
But,
okay, well, it would bother me like very slightly, because I'm like gonna nitpick, but like whatever. Like
sure.
It's like if we have to move on, and then this is the way to do it. And I think like, I know you don't like what that end credit scene for Quantumania was, but I really do think a Council of Kangs coming together is like such a massive threat. And I think it's a very cool threat. And maybe it wasn't shown in the coolest of ways.
No. But
I think, I don't know. I want to see that. And I think it's hard to say that like the TVA could handle it. Maybe if they hadn't formed yet, maybe if like this Kang thing was in its infancy, but like, I don't know. I feel like they're too far. It's too far gone now.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just when you see that Scott Lang takes down Kang, it's
it was the Ant-Man crew. It wasn't just Scott.
Yeah. Are you gonna start making excuses for Quantumania now?
No.
But I agree. Like, I think that if they do move away from the Kang storyline, it's not the Kang dynasty anymore. He's not the main bad. I don't think that doesn't mean that you could have the Kang. Like, I feel like there's been post-credit scenes, even though that one felt very significant. I do think that there has been post-credit scenes before that take a long time to come to fruition.
Maybe, well, some never.
Yeah. Maybe much later down the line, we get Kang back again. I don't know. But that's just assuming that they do move away. It feels like they are, but...
It really does.
But I know I've been talking a lot. What do you think that they're going to do, and what would you like to see? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like I've said, I want to see Kang continue. I think that's the natural progression of this story that's been happening. I can't say there is I wouldn't be upset if like your explanation was used, but I do think it's a little sloppy. Like maybe not even a little. I think it is sloppy. I think that this, like, if they really move on, it'll be kind of a tarnish on their storytelling, even more so than it has been. And yeah, I don't know. It's a shame, but what can you do? You know,
because I guess,
obviously I'm not saying they should keep Jonathan Majors. Obviously,
sure.
Yes, I'm upset, but obviously they did the right thing.
Right.
So,
yeah. I understand that you're saying that the storytelling has been sloppy. And I agree. Like, the Kang story, I don't think has been done particularly well.
I just think in general, the phase 4/5 has been sloppy.
Sure.
But, yeah.
I mean, I in particular, I think the multiverse aspect of things in principle sounded cool, but in execution, it's been very hard to follow. It's been hard to care about. But
it really makes you miss the grounded universe we started at.
Yeah. But with regards to the storytelling being sloppy, if they were to just stop it, kind of bring it to a halt somehow, it would be I don't know, anticlimactic. It would feel a little like we're missing something.
Yeah.
But if in place of it is a better story somehow, and I start caring again, I think I can look past it.
I really do think we would just get the Secret Wars story first. I feel like we would just skip. I feel like the Secret Wars is just going to come sooner, which I guess I'm not like super upset about. Like, you can have that without Kang, right?
Yeah.
Because we've already had a lot of multiversal stuff happen that's kind of like destroying things.
Right. I mean, like, take Kang. I know Kang is like multiversal traveling, but take Kang out of it. We, for the most part, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness
did a lot.
That in itself is dealing with the multiverse, never touches the whole Kang thing. We know the multiverse, Spider-Man. The main issue that is the main problem with Secret Wars is brought up in Doctor Strange, which is the incursions. That's a big thing. Right. I haven't seen the Marvels, but there's multiversal things happening there. We have characters, going to different universes. That's a thing that's happening. So like, there is multiversal things happening outside of Kang. So it's not everything necessarily is dependent, but he did feel like he was going to also intervene into this larger multiversal story that's already happening in a way that was going to, I don't know, connect well. But it's funny, when we were getting into phase 4 and like 2021, when like Black Widow and Eternals and No Way Home started to happen, we were all like kind of curious how this whole like multiversal thing was going to shape out. And it's weird. 2 years later, getting close to 3 years, I still don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, it's just like one individual story after another. And like sometimes like two stories will connect. And then sometimes stories that should connect to like ignore the other stories. And it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. I get it for the audiences to care. I don't think I would have predicted it would have been this bad 2 years ago. But I don't know. I just think like last thing I'll say about Kang is like it's a shame that we're gonna like get introduced to a new villain. I think is the case in Avengers 5, like in that movie, because I think there was something special about like leading up to like Infinity War, like 6 years of waiting for Thanos and like sprinkling him here and there. I think that's what they were doing with Kang, like introducing him at the end of Loki in Phase 4, one of the first projects of Phase 4. And he was going to be like the big bad guy by the beginning of Phase 6. Like it was going to be, I don't know. It's a shame.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
I guess it is a shame. I am okay with either decision.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think there'd be a part of me that, we'll always look back and be like, oh, what could have been, like all the Zack Snyder fans with, Zack Snyder's Justice League. But I'm kind of okay with both the recasting or just stopping it altogether.
Yeah.
And, that's why a lot of people have been saying, well, like Doom should be the next villain. People are looking to Doom because in Secret,
he should be.
In Secret Wars, he is the main bad guy.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a little, I mean, you could do it for sure. I mean, even though we saw Thanos in like Guardians and at the end of Avengers, and we were building up, I mean, really, we were introduced to Thanos for the, who he is as a person in Infinity War. So like it's not like you could have Fantastic Four come out and I'm assuming they'd have Doom in some shape or fashion.
I think so.
And then he's the villain of like Secret Wars. It could happen. It would be very quick, but it could happen.
Sure. Yeah, it would be something. It wouldn't be like enough, but it would be maybe enough.
And it doesn't have to be Doom. Like in other, we've seen like Age of Ultron, we've seen Infinity War, we've seen Civil War. They're different than what the comics were.
Right.
Like if you talk to somebody,
they'll be different.
Yeah, but like if you talk to somebody who is like, you can't make Civil War without Spider-Man revealing that he's Peter Parker to the world. Like that's a big part of it. I mean, they did it, and it's a great movie. And so I'm pretty sure they could still make a good Secret Wars movie where like Doom isn't the head person, like the main bad. So I don't know. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. They have a lot of routes to take. But it's looking like it's gonna be One Direction.
Harry Styles.
They're gonna go with Thanos' brother.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, so next topic here, we want to discuss some James Gunn comments. He's kind of talked about 3 different franchises in a way. So I guess first we'll start off with the big news that kind of got everyone riled up was the he confirmed that the Arkham series that Matt Reeves is working on, and it is being developed as a DCU show instead of in the Batman universe.
Right.
I think yes. I mean, even I myself am disappointed in that. I think it would have been very cool to see the Arkham Asylum that is shown at the end of the Batman. I think it would have been very cool to develop that and see Joker and because I don't think even in Batman Part 2 we'll get a lot of Joker. So it would have been nice to get him here. I don't know, but I do think it's neat that we do have another like project that isn't a part of like the 10 that James Gunn has announced, kind of added to the slate. So
right.
We'll see how he writes another Batman universe.
Yeah, I mean I guess my thought is I did also think that it was going to be in the Batman Matt Reeves universe.
Right. How could you know that?
But to be fair, I don't know if anybody ever confirmed. I think we all just kind of
we just assumed because it's just very weird that you wouldn't,
Right. But the fact that he said early on, like, this is one of the first things that, me and Peter Safran bought, and we're like, yeah, we want to be a part of it. And, you know, not only are they entrusting Matt to do, you know, the Penguin show, continuing on with the Batman universe in itself, he's also, you know, putting him in charge of some of the most notable rogues. Well, we'll see. Maybe it won't be. Maybe they'll like have just like some of the lesser rogues.
I feel like they would have the major ones. I don't know.
Who knows? Because it's not just Batman. It's like other, you know, it's other villains too.
Yeah.
So, but he's entrusting him to develop those characters. It'll be interesting to see.
He's also doing that animated show, Cape Crusader, isn't he? I think he's working on that too.
Oh, is he?
I think so.
I totally forgot about that. I'm really excited about that though.
Is that next year?
I hope so. That's really cool.
It better be.
But it'll be cool to see him develop. I don't know, like who knows? Maybe it'll still have like its own personality. I'm kind of interested to see how the DCU is going to go forward. Like, is it that the DCU is like lots of different creators having their own spin on things, creating the way like the characters they want to make? Probably there'll be some uniformity, but like, is it going to be like very
I don't think it'll be a lot
stylized, or is it going to be more uniform? Because it'll be interesting to see how Matt handles working in the DCU versus, you know, the
because
Batman
I feel
stuff.
like him and Andy Muschietti, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they have to have some kind of a uniform vision for like this Arkham Asylum to work. Because he is directing the next Batman movie.
Right.
I don't even know if a script is written yet for that Batman Brave and the Bold. So the fact that he's already working on, I don't know, maybe Matt Reeves isn't even that far into working on this show, because he's also doing Penguin 2 and it's not Penguin 2, Penguin and Batman Part 2. So
well, even before the Batman Part 2, it's he's working on this biopic of I forget who the it's like an actor or somebody. He's doing a biopic movie of.
Oh wow.
So I mean,
okay.
it's
And,
who knows?
And James Gunn said he hasn't even seen a script yet for Batman Part 2. He just heard a pitch. So
right. So I mean,
we're really far away from that show, I think.
But at least they're in talks. They've been in talks for a while.
No,
so,
that's cool. Yeah.
But I think Matt Reeves is a great creator, and we're going to talk about a franchise that
that's a win for the DCU.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm still very excited for an Arkham show in general. I think it's a cool concept. Sure. Personally, I might be on the minority. I think the idea of an Arkham show in the Batman universe is very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like something about it being in the DCU is a little bit more appealing to me, because in the Batman universe, yes, we would definitely get more context of what the universe is and how the rogues are in that universe. But in the DCU, I get to see more than just Batman villains. And I don't know. I think I'm still curious about like the Batman universe, because part of what sold me so much was like the Robert Pattinson-ness of it all. And like, I'm very excited for the Penguin.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. Every character in that universe sold me.
No, yeah, but like, I think like it's that serial killer, like 7 thriller mystery thing, and the mafia. And so the Penguin makes sense to me. I'm like, it's another crime thriller, whereas Arkham maybe, I don't know where that
it's
would
another
go.
genre for sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you got a point. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe I don't know. There won't be another show for a long time in that Matt Reeves' Batman universe. Maybe at least just be Penguin and Batman.
Maybe.
Yeah. He's got his hands full.
I mean, I'm totally fine as long as it's quality. I'm totally fine with just waiting for the Penguin series coming out this year, 2024.
I'm okay with the condensed universe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so the other franchise that he commented on was the Guardians franchise, that he would like the Guardians to continue on in the MCU in their current form.
Yeah.
And that he trusts Kevin Feige with whoever he would pick to lead them.
Well, I mean, you mean to
direct
right,
it. Yeah. To direct, right.
I was like, I'm pretty sure, Rock, have you seen the movie?
No, yeah,
James?
not character. Yeah. Look, I am honestly very much more okay with them like riding off into the sunset and just leaving it to my imagination.
Right.
But I do believe they will go back to it, because that was like the biggest movie of this year for them. At least MCU wise. And it's probably, I don't know. I think if Bob Iger's comments about like making sequels that, they think are worth it, I think if they can find a writer to write a good script, they'll make a movie. So I don't know. I think it's very possible. I think a Peter Quill movie is also very possible, because they tease that directly at the end of the movie. I just don't love it without a James Gunn. I just can't say I love it, but I don't know. It would be neat at the slightest. Yeah, I guess that's the term I'm looking for.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah, it'd be neat. It would be neat to see them again. Yep,
it would be cool. I'm also, I guess, where you're at.
I feel like I'm so negative this podcast.
Yeah, you really are.
Yeah, I'm just not.
You get back from Florida and you just like everything's just not as good.
I just came back and made a lightsaber. I mean, how could anything compare to that?
Exactly.
Like,
and a wand.
It's just
you picked a wand.
Well, I picked a wand. It was pretty magical.
I think that, unfortunately, as long as the MCU is a thing, no character and no franchise is
dead. Yeah,
is dead, and not necessarily dead, but like off limits of continuing.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'll happen. And maybe it'll be done respectfully,
right.
But Groot is just such a moneymaker for them, and so is Rocket. Yeah. And like you said, it was their most successful outing this past year. So
I still think they would be honorable and bring back Sean Gunn. I think he would be able to come back. Because there's no bad blood between like James Gunn and like Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
I think it could work. But
I think it'd be strange. You just need another director that's another writer to. I mean, I think the writing's very important. Like, you just need another writer that can write in that.
I think, you need a writer who can write the chemistry of these characters as well as James Gunn did, and a comedy between them,
and the absurdity, but also find like very deep emotion within the absurdity. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other topic he talked on was the Arkham game universe. Yeah, so I don't know if you have heard of the leaks for this upcoming Suicide Squad game.
Do we need to do a spoiler alert?
Yeah, big spoiler warning. Do you care about the leaks? Are you going to play this game?
I'll try to if I can find some time. Sure.
Then I won't.
Because I am a fan of the Arkham. Well, I mean, you're teasing everybody at this point. What is it?
Okay, so it's just we found out how because this game is canon to those games, like the trilogy that came before, I guess, right. +1 with Origins, and so this continues on Batman's story. And so we kind of get some details about his story continues on here. So I don't know if you want to hear it. It sounds like you do in a way, but okay.
Tell me.
So basically the there's no other way to defeat Brainiac other than to like kill the Justice League, because they're just completely like brainwashed. And so you go to kill Batman, and you found out that he has killed Tim Drake, Robin.
Oh god,
which is brutal. Like that's such a oh my god. And then you fight him. You find out that he has like a file of like how to kill the rest of the Justice League.
Classic.
And then the members fight over who gets to like execute him, and Harley Quinn wins, and so she executes Batman, and he dies.
Okay.
And so that's the ending to Batman's character. And James Gunn said recently that there are no plans that this would be the last game in this universe. I don't really understand why you would continue it after that.
That is to say, if that's true.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I will say, like, I know for sure, like, Batman is dead in this universe. I mean, I'm pretty sure, at least. I'm like 99%. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting choice to maybe continue.
Maybe he's saying that because if you say this is the last game in the Arkham universe, nobody will care. Just like when everybody said, well, why should I watch Aquaman 2 if it's the last movie?
But it could be a finale, yeah, I don't know. I feel you.
I mean, I guess like
there's probably some truth to that. Yeah.
I guess the Arkham. I'll say if you're trying to continue the Arkham verse by killing at least 4 of the main like superheroes in that universe in this game, if that's what happens, minus like Wonder Woman or I don't know what would be the point of. I mean, not that you can't, like, you can do the Suicide Squad, but it's just like it's a bit weird.
You gotta continue their story. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a bit strange.
It is strange, but I don't know. Maybe this is like like this was the way for Rocksteady to be. Is it Rocksteady who does this? I think so.
Yeah.
For them to be like, you know what? Let's kill off all the heroes so we never have to make a game in this universe again.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and if that's true, like, I hope it's done well, but like that would be kind of sucky if like this is Kevin Conroy's last performance and he's like just killed off.
Sure. I mean,
like that.
But like, I'm not going to blame them for that. Like, they obviously didn't know.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, that does, kind of suck. But
maybe it's like the game is like what we find out is it's just like somebody's like Harley Quinn's warped dream or something, because like that's pretty insane to kill the entire Justice League and then game over,
Yeah, it is pretty insane. Yeah.
Or like they think, or maybe you find out at the end of the game like they're not actually dead, they were just sedatives or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like, how did Harley kill him?
I think just a shotgun to the face.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty definitive.
Yeah. There's a picture going around of it, of of her pointing the gun at him.
Okay.
So not of like the actual like death, but
When does the game come out?
I feel like it's April of next year, but I could be wrong. Let me look. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League release date.
I mean, I don't understand these people who like
January
want to leak
so
this stuff and spoil it for people.
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah.
It's.
I mean, I don't know. You can avoid some of that stuff, but like eventually, like screenshots get out, and you're just like, well, you're not avoiding that.
Yeah, but it's just like, why do people want to do that?
People suck, Zach. People suck.
Yeah.
They want a little bit of fame.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah, now we are going to talk about some trailers. And
what are we going to start with? Which one do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could start with some Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes if you want.
Sure.
So I've only actually seen what is it? Is the first one is it Rise or is it
It's
okay, well, regardless, I've seen the first two.
Yeah.
And I feel bad I haven't seen the third one yet. But the first two I thought were pretty fantastic. I thought it was a really great, like, grounded, dark kind of origin to what we saw obviously back in like the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is a really neat concept that, like, I really do believe is going to lead into like eventually like the original movie. But yeah, this trailer is a very, there's not like a lot of story detail. But it's a very pretty trailer. It shows what has happened to Earth in like 300 years since the movies that we watched. Yeah, the details are that like Caesar is not even a memory of this like kingdom at this point. The character doesn't know about Caesar and the origins of this kingdom, and he clearly, I guess, is like dreaming. He's having visions of it in the trailer, and is kind of learning the truth. I think throughout this movie, and yeah, I don't really know where the story's going to lead. There's not really much of like an antagonist threat throughout here. It's just kind of like
there's like a king ape. It's like at one point, you know.
Right, but does he feel like an antagonist to you?
Possibly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe that's it. But you know, I like that they showed very little. And I think it's a cool, like, I mean, yes, obviously we know, so it's not like the coolest of mysteries, but like I think it's cool to advance the plot this far forward and see what comes of this new kingdom.
What do you say? What do you mean that we know?
You know, because like we saw the first three movies, like right. we know like how everything formed. You know?
Yeah.
So like for him to not know and kind of like relearn or like, you know, relearn it is just kind of like us kind of like watching. You know, it's kind of like why people had some complaints about Captain Marvel, because like we knew her origin before like she did or whatever, and so people were just like, whatever, you know. But I still think it's a neat story to tell.
Yeah.
Regardless. So yeah, I'm not negative on this.
The first one was Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
The second one was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn, okay.
And then I did not see War for the Planet of the Apes.
I didn't see War either.
So this gives me an excuse to go see it.
You know, it's a bummer because like I have been told that Dawn and War are like fantastic movies. So I really do want to finish this like trilogy.
Yeah.
I just have I don't even know where to watch them, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess we can look it up later.
We have to. Yeah.
I thought I
really like Rise.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's like every it's kind of weird. Like I don't remember those two super well. I remember liking them, but like
I remember Rise really well. I don't remember Dawn that well though.
Yeah, I mean Rise was interesting because it was like James Franco and Caesar, you know, growing up and their friendship, and then it went wrong, and then Dawn was kind of this in between. Kind of, I don't remember Dawn well either. Dawn
was like really, it was like after kind of like the you know the rebellion happened. But it was like the beginning of like that war, and I think
and they were
like,
still like learning to talk and like
right.
And then War, I can't speak on because I never saw it, but
it's very cool to see them like full on talking. in like this new trailer.
Yeah. And so like obviously we know what happens to Caesar. He dies, you know.
Well, yeah, sure. Because it's been 300 years.
Yeah, but like I'm assuming he dies in war.
Like in the war, yeah.
Like I'm assuming he dies in the third movie.
As like a hero to the people or something.
And what's really interesting is like, I guess this is supposed to be the start of a new trilogy of movies.
Yeah. So we'll see if this movie does well enough to warrant a second one.
Yeah.
Because they could just back out of these plans.
Right. I think all of them have done pretty well. And
yeah, they have.
Honestly, watching it, I thought it looked like pretty well done. I think there's the potentiality for it to be a great movie. Is it just me, or are those apes like significantly larger than the humans now?
I wouldn't say so.
It seemed like
they felt like
big.
a normal size.
Yeah. I guess they were still riding horses, right? So
yeah, because like, you know, in the original movie, they were the same size as the humans.
I've never seen the original movie.
You've never seen it?
No. Wow. I know.
Yeah. I mean, it really has aged. I will say that.
Well, I'm okay with that. I still watch Star Trek, so
that's true. That's true.
So I'm fine. I'm completely okay with that.
You know the ending though, right? It's pretty iconic.
No.
Oh wow. Okay.
So maybe
that's cool.
Maybe I'll be like Ben Kingsley in Shang-Chi, and I'll just be like, how'd they get those monkeys to act? You know, maybe I'll be that and blown away.
It'd be that blown away. That would be neat though, wouldn't it? For it to be like, you know, you watch the original trilogy, you watch the next trilogy, and it leads like right into the original movie. I think that could be their like their ticket, you know?
I mean, what is the original movie like? They have an advanced civilization by this point, or
no?
Then like, how would it lead into the first movie?
Well, I mean, like the trilogy doesn't have to like span decades or anything. You know, like I feel like it could, like the original movie could be like in this time span of like 300 years after the fall. So, I mean, I feel like, well, how could it not? How could it not lead into it?
I mean, it could, but I feel like from the very little I've seen from the Planet of the Apes movies, like the apes are at least like dressed in like clothing and seem to have like some sort of technology, right?
Let me look at this. I'm kind of blanking on the original one now. It was 1968.
Yeah.
Jeez. Spot the film novel. Okay, hold on. Plot. Give me the plot. Television series. There's a television series?
Yeah.
Okay, so Planet of the Apes after son of a. Okay, I can't find the plot. I'm sorry, people. Yeah, well, you know, the planet. Oh, plot. Here it is. Okay. Yeah. So, geez, do you think they would actually go to time travel at this point? That's crazy. Because like the original is there's astronauts and they awaken from deep hibernation after a light speed space voyage, and they. I think it crashes into a lake in an unknown planet, and they believe they're on an alien planet where like apes are, you know, the beings. Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't spoil this movie for you.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you care?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't want to be spoiled.
Okay. But yeah, so like there's some crazy stuff that happens.
Time travel that happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like yeah, I don't know if this franchise is going to go to that kind of like sci-fi stuff.
Maybe they'll bring back James Franco and they'll do. Oh wait, no, is that Ashton Kutcher that does the butterfly effect, or is that James Franco?
Yeah, that's Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll bring Ashton Kutcher back.
Well, he'd have to have been here, you know.
No, they'll like bring the character from the butterfly effect, and then we'll have. Oh,
so it's gonna be they're gonna merge the universes. Okay, nice. But yeah. I mean, talking about the trailer in general, I think it looks pretty dope. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited to get a new trilogy and I hope it's pretty good. I hope it's good.
Yeah, agreed. The other trailer we wanted to talk about is another fourth film in a franchise.
No, that's true.
Is Kung Fu Panda 4.
And also a lot of talking animals.
And also a franchise I haven't seen the third movie in.
That is also true. I've not seen the third movie of this franchise either.
Crazy.
And I don't think Ashton Kutcher's in either one of them either.
Okay, I think we're stretching it now. But yeah, so I also thought this trailer looked pretty great. I think the animation looks top notch for DreamWorks.
I feel like it looks like exactly the same as it,
but cleaner,
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a pretty big fan of like the story concepts of this. Like, we got a trilogy of Poe as the Dragon Warrior, and now it's his time to be the spiritual leader. And he gets to go on a journey to find the next Dragon Warrior, which I'm a fan of. I know a lot of people weren't the biggest fans of like who's playing the potential next Dragon Warrior, which was Awkwafina.
Yeah, I don't understand. I was talking to our friend Ryan about this. I don't understand this Awkwafina hate. Like, I like her.
Okay, so I think she can be good. I did enjoy her in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, she was great in Shang-Chi.
But I think sometimes like the characters that she plays resemble her like personality too much. And I think that's like, even myself was like slightly worried that this is going to happen for this character, that she would just be like a very loud, obnoxious kind of character. So if she can reel it in and actually like play a character, I'm down. And yeah, so I'm not upset with that she's playing. I'm just gonna wait to see it on the screen first, I guess.
Sure.
And then the villain is actually a pretty dope villain played by Viola Davis.
Oh, I didn't know that was Viola Davis. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Yeah, I think the villain's pretty sick.
It is a bummer that like we got to see Tai Lung for like 5 seconds.
Yes, but I do think we're gonna still see more of Tai Lung, just in a different way.
Well, just as a shape-shifted version. It's not going to be the actual Tai Lung.
Sure, but I do think it's cool to get like Shane Black back for a bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I think it's cool.
It's neat.
How is he back? I thought he was like skadooshed. Like I thought he was like the pinky flex thing.
I mean, do you think in DreamWorks they had Poe kill him?
I thought he died.
I mean, clearly, I guess he just got banished or something to like another realm. I don't remember, honestly.
I thought it killed.
But I mean,
I thought it killed him.
For him to kill him, that's pretty dark for DreamWorks. But I don't know.
I mean, they've killed other. I feel like they've had the villains kill people.
Well, yeah, but Poe's the hero.
But Poe was killing the villain.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying that seems dark, doesn't it?
I mean, I was okay with it.
Look, like in a normal story, I would just be shocked for a kid's DreamWorks movie.
Doesn't Lord Farquaad die in the first Shrek movie?
He does die. Well, but the dragon eats him, so it's not like, they kill him. He just dies.
Yeah. Well, don't they kill the fairy godmother?
How do they actually?
I thought they did.
She's definitely not like there at the end.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I should know that.
Or maybe they like magically turned her into something. I forget.
Wasn't it like bubbles or like a frog or something? I don't know.
Maybe she died because she was, or she had to, because the king turns into a frog because he like sacrificed himself because of a wish that was made or a promise that was broken or something. But yeah.
Well, yeah, regardless. It's I think it's a cool fourth movie. I don't think anyone expected Kung Fu Panda 4 to ever happen.
And I think that the villain idea is pretty original, like, or not.
Yeah.
Because,
well,
like,
I mean, Spider-Man Chameleon exists, but yeah.
Sure, but like, I think the idea of this kung fu villain that very much was like, let's take the power of a chameleon and just, put that into, like, I can absorb powers and I can turn into other, villains of the past or whoever I absorb.
Right,
I think that's a cool idea.
It is. Yeah.
And I think the villain looks cool. I think it's a.
Sorry, go on.
I think the villain's cooler than the peacock in the second one.
Yeah, this peacock was okay.
And then the third one,
we don't even know.
I forget.
We haven't watched it,
so I'm already excited. More excited. I won't say that, like, watching it, I was like, I gotta see this, because, like, I liked the first one a lot. The second one was okay.
First one was great.
I haven't seen the third one.
It's a classic animation movie.
Yeah, the first one's great. I don't know why I said I liked it. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I think what's nice about this one is that it's like a nice cap to like the original trilogy, because it, like, it obviously brings back all those villains.
Right.
And it kind of finishes out Poe's story as the Dragon Warrior. But like comparisons to the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, this is launching another trilogy. I don't know if we said that. But if this one does well, if this one does well, it'll launch the next Dragon Warrior trilogy. So I don't know if it would be called Kung Fu Fox. I don't think it. That sounds great.
No, I think it'll still stay as Kung Fu Panda.
But it wouldn't be about Poe.
Well, no, I think it would still be about Poe, just in a different way, and that whoever's the new Dragon Warrior, even if that is the case, we don't know if there's going to be a new Dragon Warrior. They would be existing concurrently. I think Poe would still have to be the main character. So,
I guess they could be throwing us, like, for a loop. Like, he could remain as, like, both the Dragon Warrior and spiritual leader or something. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I think now is the time we're gonna review our Christmas movies.
Oh, actually, we're going to do Rebel Moon and then our Christmas movies.
You're right.
Yeah. So
sorry, folks.
Yeah. All right. So next week, Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, comes out on Netflix. And Ian and I are both big Zack Snyder fans. And I am
not as big as some people, but yes.
Sure, maybe not as big as some people, but I love 300. I think
I love Watchmen.
I love Watchmen. I think Man of Steel is incredible.
Absolutely.
Zack Snyder's
Justice League.
Great movie.
Nice.
What else? I didn't love Army of the Dead, but I thought it had its moments. But overall, like, I've liked a majority of what Zack Snyder's made, and I think he's a really interesting visual director at the very least. But so his movie's coming out. There's a lot of promise. Netflix is let him make a part 1 and part 2, and this is supposed to be hopefully the start of a whole new franchise that they hope to make many different shows and movies based off of it.
Yep.
I have not exactly been thrilled with the trailers. I've been kind of nervous about them.
I honestly thought the first trailer was pretty dope. I thought visually there was a lot going for it.
Right.
But that's all I really needed,
Right. And so the reviews have started to come out, and they're not great.
Yeah. They are not on the favorable side.
Currently, with 59 reviews, there is a 20% on this movie.
59 critic reviews?
59 critic reviews. It is at 20%. Now, this movie that has not come out yet, is not viewable, has an audience score of 72%. And you might be wondering why there's 72% audience rating when the movie's not out. Well, you have to normally you have to verify that you've seen the movie on Rotten Tomatoes. So that means you have to have purchased a ticket through Fandango or whatever and be able to verify that you saw the movie in theaters or some other way. This movie doesn't have that kind of barrier because it's on Netflix. So if you're not aware, there's a lot of Zack Snyder fanboys who, that's how a lot of the Snyder Cut came about. And, there's a lot of great that came from that. There's also been a lot of bad stuff. And I think a lot of these 1,000 plus ratings of a 72% score are coming from a lot of Zack Snyder fans who just haven't even seen the movie yet.
Did you see a lot of the accounts are like, this was their first review they've ever written?
Sure. Which, good for them. They're starting to review, but it's most likely bullshit.
Well, I just mean that means there's probably a lot of the accounts that are like, people are making multiple accounts and like, and reviewing multiple times. It's just, So
it's great. I think there's a lot of different things to talk about regarding it, but I kind of wanted to just like go through some of the reviews. One says from the Observer, but like so many aspiring myth makers, Snyder has put the cart before the horse, promising a sprawling galaxy of stories while failing to make the first one functional in its own right. This is from the Times in the UK Times. Never before in Planet Cinema has so much slow-mo been wasted on so many characters for whom we care so little.
Oof.
Radio Times.
I can see that happening.
Although suitably epic in scale, the abundance of exposition and slow-mo action scenes drags the story down. And then there's these two positive reviews. Whatever side of the Zack Snyder fence you're on, and if you straddle the fence, prepare to get pushed one way or the other. Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire is exactly what you think it is. And then Rebel Moon Part 1, Child of Fire is especially impressive for its vivid realism. So, although they are positive, they're not enough of a winning review, and nothing about it says like the story is going to be great.
Yeah.
The main consensus is it's a lot of style over substance, and there's not a whole lot of a universe to even care about or get invested in. And I've seen also that people say like Zack Snyder confuses exposition for world building, which I can totally see. And statistically, the audience review is usually about 20 to 30% higher with a Zack Snyder movie than the critics rating. Even like Zack Snyder's Justice League got like 70% with the critics, and it's at like 90 with the audience.
Nice.
And that goes kind of the same with like 300 and other movies. Needless to say, I'm gonna watch it because I like Zack Snyder. I'm interested, but it's not a ringing endorsement, and I don't think it's a great start for a potential cinematic universe.
It is not, but they've already made the second movie, so they're kind of locked into at least these two. And I do think people like even maybe this helps it in the way that it went so bad, like in the other direction, like for the reviews. Like a lot of people hate watch. I think you're gonna get a lot of viewers that are gonna spike this viewership up by just kind of like, let's see how bad this is.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's unfortunate. From what I've been reading online is that, Netflix had this idea of like capturing this like Zack Snyder director's cut momentum by planning a director's cut from the start. And that means that this version has an hour of missing footage from the director's cut. And people are saying like, you can tell there's just like scenes missing. And context that you're just missing, like how the studio cut down Batman versus Superman when it went to theaters. A lot of stuff just felt like it didn't make sense when you were watching it in the theater.
Right.
And I think that's probably the case here. And I think it's unfortunate. I would love to wait until the director's cut comes out, but I would like to review this by the end of the year. So I'm gonna watch it.
And like I think this is a fault of Zack for quite a few movies now. That this keeps happening, and I'm sorry, like a director's cut, it's great and it can really enhance the project. But like even iconic movies like Blade Runner you're not adding an hour 15 to the movie, with the director's cut. And
that's the thing.
The fact that he continues to need 40 plus minutes to a movie to make it coherent. Sometimes that's what a movie needs. Right. But for the most part, when he just cannot get it down to even like this movie's coming in at 2 hours and 15 minutes. And
it's that short? Okay, I didn't realize. Okay.
That's short. I feel like that's where a movie should be somewhere there.
I agree. I thought it was 3 hours for some reason.
Oh, okay. I mean, like even there, it's like if we're seeing this at like 3 hours and it's still like, well, it's missing a lot. I just feel like you're not telling a good enough story.
I agree, though. Yeah, I mean, like,
you're not telling it well.
You should be able to tell the story in a normal movie length, and I think that is rough. Like, I think even Zack Snyder's Justice League, if it wasn't 4 hours long, I think you would. I think if you cut an hour out of that, it would hurt it pretty badly. So
sure. I mean, and that's why I'm like, I'd say like, just release the director's cut. I mean, what are you waiting for?
Right.
But I think for the most part, like he doesn't make a lot of movies recently, because I think you could say like 300, Watchmen, Man of Steel. He did it. He told good stories in a good amount of time. And like lately, I feel like he's been going for these longer stories that need more time.
He wants to tell like an epic saga,
Yeah.
And he needs the most amount of time possible, apparently. So
I don't know. I'm intrigued. I love sci-fi. I want Zack Snyder to succeed. I'm a little bummed.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard. There's a quote from the actor who plays, I guess, like the main villain, and he was saying like he was so excited, to play this character, and that this universe is like has big plans, because in reading the script, it was like the most detailed backstory and depth a villain he's ever read for. So like it's stuff like that like gets me excited about this universe and really makes me want to like this movie.
Yeah.
I'm just very worried,
Right.
That what people are saying are true.
I think like details are great, and like if you can world build, that's great. But like, I mean, if you look at Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, you world build in just like the way somebody talks about a certain event or like something happens. Like there's other ways to world build without being like, and I've not seen the movie, but like I've seen things with like Zack Snyder's like Justice League. Like we talk about this one thing for like 10 minutes, there, I don't know. I guess we'll see when we see the movie. I'm just like, I don't know.
No, I feel you. Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But now we'll talk about our Christmas movies.
I was just so excited earlier. I jumped the gun. I apologize.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, I don't know about you. So basically we are reviewing our favorite Christmas movie of all time. I don't know what Zack is. He doesn't know what mine is. He might know, but
I can only guess. Maybe we could guess each other's before we do it.
Gosh,
got one
what would
guess.
You pick? Oh man,
get one guess.
For you, I'm gonna guess Home Alone 2.
Ooh,
am I wrong?
You're not.
Am I close? Is that in your top three?
See, that's the problem. Is like it was between that one and one other one.
Oh wow. So it was top 2 for you. Okay.
Oh yeah, I love Home Alone 2. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe my okay. Well, yeah, I won't say anything.
I feel like I'm gonna be wrong.
Uh-huh. I
want to. Part of me wants to say, and I think this is not right, but I kind of want to say it's Elf.
You got it.
Oh, okay, cool.
You nailed it.
All right.
Look at you. You know me, dude. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just get it right into it because you said Elf. Yeah. I really believe that Elf is like the perfect Christmas movie, and it's genuinely it's such a well constructed story. And it's such a like funny story all around, and it's carried out by an all time great performance in Will Ferrell. Yeah. You got a great love interest in Zooey Deschanel. Great character actors all around that enhance the story, and you just get a beautiful story about family and Buddy getting a family and Walter kind of opening his heart throughout the way, and everybody kind of like that he meets opens kind of their heart throughout the way, and you get this like beautiful epic conclusion where like, you know, Zooey Deschanel's character sings to the news and everybody's, you know, like singing along with her that you've met throughout the movie, and you know, and the slave raises because of Christmas spirit. It's just like it's the perfect like Christmas spirit family movie. It's so well done, and it's so funny. Like comedy, like it still holds up so well. Yeah. So that's my gleaming review here of Elf.
I'll say that out of all Christmas movies of all time, I've seen Elf more than any other one.
Same.
It is
every year.
Like, I love that movie. I don't know how you can't not love that movie.
Yeah.
It probably would be my favorite too. I just have sentimental reasons as to why, like, I picked the one. It's difficult because you say Home Alone 2, and like in a lot of ways, like that is the quintessential like Christmas movie for me.
For me, weirdly, I'm maybe not even weirdly, I'm much more of a fan of the first one. I don't know if that's sacrilegious to you, but I love because that's my second favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Home Alone,
I think the first. It's weird. I only ever saw the second one until I never saw the first one until like 2021. You know what's funny?
I've never fully seen the second one.
Yeah,
I've just seen a lot of clips.
Yeah. My favorite Christmas movie is mostly attached because we watch it as a family because my mom loves it, and like it just holds sentimental reasons for me.
Can I guess again?
Sure.
Is it Rudolph?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Well, I guessed wrong.
It's National Vacation's Christmas. It's Christmas Vacation.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So
interesting. And I've seen that a couple times.
I just watched it again, and it doesn't do the Christmas magic feeling that something like Home Alone 2 does, or that Elf does.
Yeah.
But it's just funny, and I think that there's still like an earnestness to Chevy Chase's character, who really wants Christmas to be good, and his dad is so sweet, and he's like, nah, it's your year, and he's like, how did you do it? And he's like, a lot of whiskey, and then they both like start laughing, and like, you know, like just the side characters are just like hilarious, and I just think it's just a movie that reminds me of my family, because we all like just think that Chevy Chase is like so ridiculously like he's actually his like somewhat tame in that movie, because he has to play like a nice character, but I don't know, there's just a lot of quotable things that like my family says every year, like let's say grace, and it's like Grace passed away 40 years ago, you know. So that's that for sentimental reasons, but in terms of giving me Christmas joy, it's probably Home Alone 2 or Elf. So
okay.
Yeah.
No, but I respect your pick. I respect
And
it.
I have a new favorite one, which I finally, which I saw again because I'm trying to make it a Christmas tradition, which is Violent Night.
Wow. Okay.
Love Violent Night.
So it's really good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. When'd you see it?
I saw it at the Bird Theater, which is an old theater, very like beautiful theater in Richmond.
Nice.
I saw it with my girlfriend, her dad, and I brought Ryan, and they all saw it for the first time. And
you've seen it multiple times, huh?
I've seen it one other time.
Okay.
And it's I mean, Ryan said it's like top tier. So
nice. Yeah. Okay, I gotta watch it. Sick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can guess what's my third, I guess, favorite, but it's one that's come out very recently.
Recently, I don't know.
It's the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that counted.
I think it counts. I know it's less than an hour, but it's because
it's like beautiful. A special, so
it's beautiful, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. I gotta watch it every year now.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to make it happen before Christmas, where I watch it again.
For sure. You know what's wild? I haven't watched like any of them this year, so I need to get a move on.
That's crazy. I would have thought you would have like rewatched them all and watched it with 3 since it just came out on streaming.
Yeah, I was gonna do that, but I have a couple other things I want to play and watch. So
okay.
Plus I got trips I took.
Right.
I'm a busy man.
Right.
But that's our review. I guess we could talk about what we've watched since we last saw each other. I haven't watched a ton, but I don't know if you wanna start. You want me to start?
Yeah, you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, so really all I kind of did was restart Invincible to lead up to season 2, since I haven't watched that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes with my friend Manny, and it's funny how much I kind of forgot, just a bunch of like little details. Just like I forgot about the alien invasion and it's just like this the small like subplots you forget about. But yeah, no, it was fantastic seeing that Guardians of the Globe fight again. That never gets old. Him beating the crap out of them.
Brutal.
It's a beautiful. It's an iconic like moment in like TV history, honestly. It's beginning of Invincible. It's a good time. It's a cool like dark mystery feel.
Yeah.
And then you got like some superhero like kind of a Young Justice stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a great time. It's a good time rewatching that.
Yeah. Me, I've only been watching Christmas movies, so obviously I saw Violent Night recently, and
right.
that
and
was.
You saw National Lampoon's.
I saw National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Honestly, not too much. I don't know if I mentioned previously that I saw Priscilla on the podcast, but I saw that.
You did, yeah, you did mention that.
Did I mention the -1 Godzilla as well?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean. Not really been able to watch a whole lot. I mean,
it's only been a week, I've
been trying to watch like Star Trek, but that also like I just haven't been able to watch that much, especially with all the Christmas stuff going on. So
yeah, I feel it.
Maybe I'll be able to catch it. Like I've been meaning to watch Monarch. I've been meaning to.
I think from now until like the end of, I need to get Apple. I really want to watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, from now until the end of the year, I'm just gonna go on like movie binges. I'm just gonna start watching a bunch of movies.
Yeah. I would like to try to watch some stuff.
Asteroid City just got on Amazon Prime, so I want to watch that.
Yeah.
There
was something on Amazon Prime. I can't tell how it's gonna be, but I do want to watch that Amazon Prime like Batman and Damian animated.
Oh,
movie.
like the little Batman?
Yeah.
Is it a movie? I thought it was a show.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Oh, wow.
It's a Batman animated Christmas special.
It looks cute.
It looks cute.
Yeah.
It also looks potentially like dark as well.
Does it?
A little.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a little creepy looking. It's where like Bruce, it's like Batman and his son Damian, and they're both animated and they both kind of look a little weird.
Okay. Yeah. We're talking about the same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't get a creepy vibe, but yeah, I'll have to watch it again, I guess.
I think just looking at the villains, like they look so creepy.
It's just the way they're drawn. Yeah.
Yeah. They're really disturbing looking.
I mean, even Alfred is kind of like gross looking.
Yeah. Like they have this gross, like Batman, like Joker's just got this huge ass chin. It just protrudes so much, and like Penguin's got these like warts on his chin, and like Poison Ivy looks anorexic. Like it's just kind of
there's just so much Batman stuff coming out. Like, can we just like calm down from Batman for like 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, Alfred looks horrific.
Right? He's
Alfred,
like a 90-year-old man.
He's got like a sausage for a nose, and he's like half his face is just his ears.
Yeah, it's he's a monster. Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne and Batman has a beard.
He does have a beard. He's like a lumberjack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is like a lumberjack, yeah.
Because he's wearing that like knit. Yeah.
Alfred is literally falling apart in this one image. He's like melting off of his bones.
So this
Merry Little
funny,
Batman. Yeah.
Merry Little Batman. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a Christmas movie. That's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for the podcast this week. We want to thank you all for tuning in again. We came back with our promise coming true this week that we were on a more consistent schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to support us in the future and listen to us in the future, we release on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. And we sometimes release a video version of our podcast on YouTube at Last Week This Week Pod. And if you want to follow us on our socials, we are the same tag on Instagram and TikTok. And all those links will be in our description as well. And if you want to support us one more time, we would always appreciate a like, a comment, a rating, a review, or a subscribe.
Thank you guys
and
very much.
And only the good reviews. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
just
only the good
5-star
reviews. Yeah.
Good reviews,
no 4 stars, no 2 stars, only 5 stars.
The 5 ones really help us.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Next week, we should have hopefully reviews of Rebel Moon. Maybe Aquaman. Is that out? Coming out?
It will be out on the 22nd. So it will be out by the next podcast. Yep.
So we'll try to get all those for you. And then hopefully by the end, it'll be best and worst.
Absolutely. We are looking forward to it.
Okay. Until next time.